coming up on ATV News.
After the largest mass shooting in U.S. history, we'll show you what you can do to keep yourself safe.
You know Elder Hales from the LDS Church passed away. We'll show you what else he did besides church service.
Every year, people bring their pets to be blessed. We'll tell you who started this 700-year-old tradition.
On Saturday, USU football did something they haven't done since 2010. I'll show you what it was and how they feel about it in sports.
This weather station picked up snow, hail, and rain this week. I'll show you what will hit it next.
All that and more, this is ATV News.
You've heard these shots and seen this video. Las Vegas police say they are working to find the motive behind Sunday night's shooting. Welcome to ATV News. I'm Brian Petty.
And I'm Bo Lamb. The Las Vegas shooting has sparked conversation on campus about safety and gun rights.
According to Gun Violence Archive, there have been 273 mass shootings this year. That's almost one every day since January. Some students are worried about their safety on campus. Do guns make students feel safe? ATV's Braden Clark has more.
Those are gunshots at a Jason Aldean concert. The LVPD has said at least 59 people lost their lives Sunday evening to a mass shooting, the largest in American history. And here at USU, we have a concealed carry policy, which means any student, faculty, or guest can walk onto campus with a concealed weapon as long as they have a permit. But it has caused some students to wonder, do guns cause security or fear?
Makes me feel less safe, definitely.
Honestly, being a concealed carry campus doesn't worry me at all. I don't necessarily feel safer because of it, but I also don't feel in danger.
I'm kind of indifferent. I think having guns on campus is a little comforting, that just in case something happens, someone might be able to stand up and stop it.
I'm pretty worried about it. I just don't like guns in general, and I don't know that me not being able to see them really makes it any better.
I understand, like, you feel nervous because you don't feel safe, but I don't feel safe if I'm not able to protect myself.
If you're ever in a situation where there's an active shooter, the FBI says to run, get out of the area as fast as possible. But if you can't, they say you should hide. The police should be there in a few minutes. But if you can't, your odds of survival go up if you can fight.
Of course, we don't want our students to put themselves in situations where they might feel vulnerable or at risk themselves. But within the capacity that they have, we certainly encourage them to try to address those issues when they're sort of nip them in the bud before they become, before they escalate and potentially could be violent.
Braden Clark, ATV News.
We've posted a link on our Facebook page to the American Red Cross where you can learn how to help those affected by the Las Vegas events.
Elder Robert D. Hales from the Quorum of the 12 Apostles passed away at age 85 in the hospital early Sunday afternoon. He served full-time for over 20 years for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Hales was born in New York City in 1932. He graduated from the University of Utah with a communications degree in 1954 and received his MBA from Harvard in 1960. Before his call to serve in 1994, Hales was a jet fighter pilot in the U.S. Air Force and held executive positions with 3 major companies. Hales and Mary Crandall were married in the Salt Lake Temple in 1953 and later had 2 sons. 3 hours after his passing, church leaders shared a few lines from remarks Hales would have given in General Conference.
Quoting Elder Hales, "When we choose to have faith, we are prepared to stand in the presence of God."
Funeral services will be held in the Tabernacle on Temple Square Friday at 11 a.m.
Thrown from a horse and killed at the age of 3, ATV's Erin Cox shows us how friends and family came together Thursday night to support each other during a neighborhood tragedy.
Pink balloons.
She loves pink.
And a prayer service for Taisley Hales.
How's today been?
It's been tough.
Taisley was life-flighted from her home in Petersboro to Primary Children's Hospital after being thrown from a spooked horse last Tuesday. She sustained a serious brain injury and was pronounced dead Wednesday afternoon, something her cousin said he never thought would happen.
This is nothing that you could ever expect. Nothing anyone wants to expect. It's a terrible tragedy, and we'll do our best to get through it.
But Taisley's family doesn't have to get through it alone.
So grateful for the support from the community and from all those who were able to come and those who weren't able to. We feel their love and are so grateful for them tonight.
Here with messages and balloons for Taisley.
I think it'll really help the kids, you know, knowing that they get to send her a balloon in heaven. And I think this is what we need, you know. We all just need to come together.
Together, after a moment of silence.
Taisley, we love you.
Erin Cox, ATV News.
Taisley's parents donated her organs to Primary Children's Hospital. There's a GoFundMe link on our Facebook page for you to donate and help them cover medical costs.
Born and raised right here in Cache Valley, one Logan High School graduate just won the Nobel Prize in Physics. Staying after class to work with students, Logan High School physics teacher Drew Nelson shares the same alma mater as Kip Thorne, who was just awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics yesterday. Nelson told his students if they worked hard, any of them could accomplish great things like Thorne.
That's the fun part of teaching, is you just have no idea what these students are capable of, but it's incredible that, you know, they leave my classroom and then they go on to just greater and greater things.
Kip Thorne is the second graduate of Logan High School to win a Nobel Prize. A local high school cross-country program is running for more than just sport. Coming up, we'll tell you why.
And Aggie Blue Bikes gave us some tips to help you be more eco-friendly. We'll tell you what they are.
Can you concern with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now.
No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite,
unearth hidden passion.
Survival, have a good time.
Plant seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic.
To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall.
One book can make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back. Cancer impacts millions of people, and one local high school is running to show their support for them. I went out to Bear Lake to see how one cross-country program is working to make a difference.
This is the last cross-country race of the year for Bear Lake School District. And the runners are showing their support for people battling cancer by wearing something during the race.
They brought in their flags, their hope flags, and some of the runners are wearing them like on their back or tied around their wrist, and they'll run with hope, and I just think that's super cool. They brought that to our meet.
The flag each runner carries symbolizes a donation to Radiating Hope, an organization that helps people with cancer. And when the race is over, these flags go on a journey of their own.
They sell the prayer flags in honor of a cancer patient and take them to summits of mountains all across the world. They all eventually end up on Mount Everest.
And over time,
they shed their strands into the wind.
One runner who bought 3 flags for different people is happy to be running and showing her support.
It feels really good. It feels like
we're helping a lot.
This last event of the year is extra special because the middle school's principal has cancer.
I had to tell them when I had cancer because they were going to figure something out as soon as my hair fell out. And, you know, kids this age, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. So I just said, give me the knuckles every day. And I know that means you got my back.
The principal says he is proud of his students and what they are doing for people that are struggling with cancer.
They're thinking about a greater cause, other people. Not just me, but every one of them's running for something that's more important than themselves.
Visit our Facebook page to find out how you can donate to Radiating Hope.
If you were in a church service, would a barking dog distract you? Well, how about 20? At St. John's Episcopal Church, they welcome those kinds of distractions. Every year, the church follows in St. Francis, the patron saint of animals' footsteps, by blessing dogs, cats, and really any creature that creeps or crawls through the church doors.
Zoe, fellow creature, friend and companion, may God, your creator and preserver, bless, defend, heal, and keep you this day and always. Amen.
Reverend Stephen Sturgeon says it is important to recognize and appreciate all of God's creations, as St. Francis did, and that the yearly service is the perfect place for it.
You get to hear a joyful noise unto the Lord in a very different cadence than a typical Sunday service.
Reverend Sturgeon says the blessing of the animals is just one of the many events the church does throughout the year. He says the church welcomes everyone, always.
Aggie Blue Bikes hosted the Open Streets Festival yesterday, and ATV's Alex Zellner went to show us how easy USU makes it for blue to go green.
Bikes, buses, bands, and a rock climbing Big Blue are just a few of the things featured at the 5th annual Open Streets Festival, where sustainability was the word of the day.
Sustainability.
Sustainability. Aggie Blue Bikes and USU say one step or pedal towards sustainability is to
get more butts on more bikes more often.
If biking isn't your thing, there are plenty of other ways to be sustainable, like taking the bus.
You can hop on, ride it around, hop off. It's a great way to get familiar with the valley.
You can also start doing things in your living space like composting or
just adding recycling to your plant, like your garbage plan or stuff like that, as well as just like everyday living things you can do, like turning off the lights when you leave the room, taking shorter showers.
A couple of ways to be sustainable as a college student is to ride your bike to school, get reusable grocery bags, and get a reusable water bottle instead of using plastic ones.
You can also join Blue Goes Green's Commuter Club, where taking a pledge not to get a parking pass can get you
free bike rental for a year through Aggie Blue Bikes. They get like free points to use the Enterprise, so they can get like a car rental if they need to. They can get a locker at the Hyper. Like there's just a whole bunch of different like benefits.
USU makes sustainability very possible for college students. Sometimes it can be as easy as riding a bike. Alex Zellner, ATV News.
For more information on how to make your life more sustainable, check out our Facebook page. You may have heard about how rowdy USU's herd can get. On Thursday, the student-run group helped Aggies get pumped with a pregame campout. Before hitting the hay, students on the quads sung karaoke, played volleyball, and hung out and chowed down around the fire.
It's pretty lit. Like, it's super fun. A lot of good food, a lot of good friends, a lot of good times.
Students that stayed the whole night on the quad got to get into Maverick Stadium early to claim a front row seat to watch the BYU-USU football game.
When we come back, ATV's Chaz Ricks will have your Cache Valley weather report.
Currently in Logan, Utah, it is a cloudy and cool 62 degrees.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing you. Believe me, I'm good at it. But at some point, you're going to need to start pushing yourself.
See, once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell them. You can't change your past, but you can definitely change your future. That makes me so happy, I'm ready to bust out a dance.
Mr. Trejo, can they transfer this guy to you? My gentle technique isn't really working. You need something a little more
persuasive.
Yes.
You listen, and you listen good.
Hey, where's my sandwich? Terry? Jerry!
Take it from me, the King DMC. It's a real cool thing to get your GED.
Get that diploma!
Now hold on and we'll find you free GED classes. Capiche?
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Welcome back. Chaz Ricks joins us here in the studio. Chaz, it's been a little chilly.
It has.
Yeah, I am hoping that you can tell us that warmer temperatures are on the way.
Well, you know, I can't necessarily tell you there are going to be warmer temperatures, but we will have a lot more sunshine. But first, did you guys notice the weird weather we've been having this week? I caught this video of this hailstorm and my dog outside behind my house the other day. Make sure the hail doesn't hit me. We've also had some viewers send in quite a bit of awesome photos of, here's one of Providence Canyon, of the fall leaves changing. There's one in Logan, just right by USU, and one of the Logan Temple. I also had someone send one in from Cub River. That's a gorgeous view. So these leaves are changing. Let's go to the national forecast. Down in Texas, we start down in Texas. We see there's a lot of green and a lot of yellow. The green means there's not much rain. The yellow means that we have a little bit, and the orange is we're getting quite a bit of rain. So we see it coming up, going up north through the east, hitting Illinois. We also see some precipitation down in Florida. Let's go over to the west side. We can see in Utah we're getting quite a bit. Southern Idaho, is getting quite a bit of rain as well. California's getting a little bit, but let's check out to see what we're at right now. So we got a lot of clouds giving us a lot of cover. Like I said, there's been quite a bit of rain and weird weather all throughout this last week. Let's go to our 7-day forecast. Let's see if Brian Petty will get what he wants. So on Wednesday, today, it's raining. Tomorrow it's going to kind of stop a little bit though. And then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, actually through the rest of the week, we're looking pretty good. If you have plans to go through, to go hunting, or I know the hunting season's opening, so if you have plans to go hunting or if you're going to go camping and see these fall colors, this is a good week to do so because it might be the last kind of sunshiny week we're getting into. We're really getting into fall now. So Friday is going to be 61 degrees, Saturday is going to be 67, Sunday will be 58. It'll really start to cool down quite a bit as we get through the weekend. So to answer your question, we're not really going to have warmer weather.
Well, it actually looked like it was going to warm up for the weekend. I mean, high 60s, that's pretty warm compared to what it's been lately. So.
Right, for the weekend we'll be okay, and then it'll get a little bit lower.
Yeah,
Monday we're going to dip down. You're going to want to put on a jacket. And
you're going to be able to use this new jacket you
got. That's right. This is a DI special.
That's right.
Well, thanks, Chaz. Up next on ATV Sports, USU's football team did something they hadn't done since 2010. Can you guess what it is? The answer after the break.
Students in biological engineering at Utah State University have the unique chance through the Synthetic Biomanufacturing Institute to engineer uses for spider silk. Projects developed in the lab include medical coatings, strong adhesives, and elastic woven fibers. These Aggies from Utah State are influencing and changing the face of biological engineering. Join them and leave your mark as well.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
I'm not from Utah, but nobody likes BYU, so it's one of those things that I wanted to give our guys, this win.
Those are the words of senior quarterback Kent Myers about the USU and BYU rivalry game on Saturday. And this is ATV Sports. So let's get right into it. BYU taking on USU in the old wagon wheel game. Utah State went up early off this touchdown pass from Myers to tight end Dax Raymond. 32-yard bullseye to the big man. But BYU rattled off 3 consecutive scores, including this wildcat reverse back to Kevin Hodge, who tosses it up to Braden Albakri for the score, rumbles and stumbles and even tumbles into the end zone. The Cougars were rolling until this Jalen Davis interception that bounces off his teammate's head right there and into his open arms. 30 yards back to the house, touchdown Aggies, and that was the spark they needed, setting them on a 27-point tear, including this quarterback tuck and run from Myers for 19 yards. The play that sealed it was this final interception by Jalen Davis right there. That's his 3rd pick of the game, 2nd pick 6 as you saw, and the Aggies rolled 40-24 over the Cougars. Kent Myers, who hadn't beaten BYU as a starter, says this was a big one for him and the team.
I feel like I got a lot to prove. Got a lot of doubters out there. It's one of those things that this is the win that we needed, and this is the win that I wanted.
It was also the win that marks the first time since 2010 that the Aggies have beaten the Cougars in Logan, and the first time in 3 years that they've taken home the Wagon Wheel Trophy. Utah State women's soccer was back here at home on Saturday after a 6-game road streak that spanned almost a month. But it wasn't until the second half when the game saw its first points. From this San Diego State corner kick, which ricochets in just a minute off of Stacey Moran's head, right about there, and Mia Ruth's foot right into Utah State's net. And later, off a cross-field kick from the Aztecs, this ball, sent into the air, was headed by an Aggie right there and just sneaks in under the crossbar, putting the Aggies in a 0-2 hole. But the Aggies had their chances in this game, don't mind you, missing this one wide right, this one wide left, and this one right here a bit too high. But the home team did finally score on this play right here as Bailey Hammond served up to Ashley Cordozo, avoiding the shutout, but not avoiding the loss. Aggies lose 2-1. The Aggies also faced another 2-1 loss to New Mexico on Sunday, dropping them to 2-2 in conference play. For our Prep Sports Spotlight this week, we've got crosstown rivalry highlights from Skyview at Logan. The Bobcats showed the Grizzlies why they're undefeated on the season, scoring 28 unanswered points. So let's take a look. First up, we've got Jackson Sidaway taking the ball and tossing to Cole Stokes, who charges upfield and tumbles into the end zone for the Bobcats' first 6 points of the day. On to touchdown number 2 now. Sidaway looking, waiting, and he found his target, and it's coming right into your living room. Will Drzinski right there with a great catch in the back of the end zone. Let's go number 3 now. Sidaway again. This time looking and sending it up for a 70-yard connection with Jake Digert. No chance at a tackle right here, folks. He'll go all the way to the house and put the Bobcats up 20-0. Now this next one right here isn't a touchdown, but Sidaway pumps, fakes the camera out, and launches it in and out of the lights right there and into the hands of Mason Fosliff. Nice 30-yard gain. Sets up Cole Stokes for a run in the fourth unanswered score up the middle and through some would-be tacklers into the end zone. Skyview wins in the 50-13 blowout, remaining undefeated on the year. The Bobcats will be at home on Friday taking on Green Canyon, while Logan, they'll be at Mountain Crest. And you know, guys, Skyview is a team to beat in this region, I'll tell you what.
And they can beat you in a lot of ways, man. Like, they got a lot of weapons.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them in state.
Those high school games were amazing, but I have to say I am a little biased toward the USU-BYU game. That was pretty amazing.
That's fair to say.
When we come back, the Haunted Hollow is open. We'll show you what goes on behind the scenes.
And Howl tickets are up for sale. We'll tell you where to get them.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
If you store your guns properly,
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids, this isn't a drill.
Please.
please do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
At the Utah State Journalism Department, we can't offer you a cool press hat. We can't offer you a spot on a blooper reel. We can't offer you easy A's. We can't offer you time off. We can't offer you ridiculously dramatic music playing in the background, or even my British voice. What we can offer you is an education that leads to a job that makes a real difference.
Welcome back. If you go to the American West Heritage Center to prepare to be spooked, Chaz Ricks went behind the scenes to freak himself out at the Haunted Hollow.
Right? You're such a cute dolly.
Annalise Christensen, the Haunted Hollow coordinator, says this year history will be told through scaring.
Here we've got Vlad the Impaler, we have Jack the Ripper, we have a Victorian circus, we have World War I. A lot of terrifying quality things to make little kids laugh and grown people cry.
Christensen is the one that manages building the trail, finds the volunteers, and makes sure they have their costumes, makeup, and time to get into character. They have already put over 300 man-hours building the hollow, and it hasn't even started. She says this would be impossible without volunteers.
Our volunteers are key, especially here in the Hollow. Many haunted houses pay their people to be there, but we just have our volunteers, and really they make the quality so much better because they want to be here.
Annalise says she already has 40 volunteers to help scare at this year's Haunted Hollow, and that some of them may be a little shy and maybe don't necessarily like talking to other people. But as soon as they put on a mask, they become a whole nother person. One of those volunteers is Heather Harris, who is scared since 2010. She says she tries to be as scary as she can, but the Hollow provides a good, safe place to scare people.
It's a lot of fun, and to know that people are safe in this environment, it's an innocent place to scare the pants off someone.
Harris says even if you haven't been brave enough to walk through the Hollow before, you should come give it a try this year.
Give it a chance. If you've never tried it before, at least see what it's like before you decide you don't like it. It's a fun experience, usually for the whole family.
Chaz Ricks, ATV News.
The Haunted Hollow is open every Friday and Saturday starting October 6th.
Tickets for the Howl are now on sale for USU students. The theme this year is Welcome to the Dollhouse. It will be on October 27th, 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Students can buy their tickets at the TSC card office. Tickets for everyone else will be available online starting October 9th.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of ATV News.
Check out all of our shows on Facebook and Instagram.
Here are some pictures of the leaves changing from colors.
We'll see you next week, Aggies.